Welcome to Not From Here, a podcast dedicated to past versions of ourselves.
And the current versions of all of you. We are your co-hosts. I'm Riley Klauza.
And I am Isa Rodriguez. And we are just a couple of Michiganders turned New Yorkers trying to get a grip.
Have you ever been made fun of for the way you say things or thought, damn, I never even realized I had an accent?
Well, we have too, because we're definitely not from here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The lag is so real.
I always forget about the lag until it's like actually happening, and then I hear you in my ear like a second ahead or behind, and then I'm like, oh, but it's fine. If you guys didn't pick up, we're recording virtually today.
Whoa, is this 2020? Are we time traveling?
We're back. It's the wired headphones for me. That's like, this is our
And
peak.
it's the way that we both hold them like this, but it really feels like the best method.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, everyone. I have my mic ready to go. If you're watching, I was all ready, and then my computer decided 1, to die, 2, to not have storage today, and it wouldn't even let me record on my laptop.
So rude.
We're doing
so
great.
rude.
Doing great over here, but happy to be here.
We're back. And what are we back with? Oh, this is only the last episode of season 3.
Whoa.
Whoa, you heard
That
me
is
right.
Crazy. That is. It flew. Do you feel
I
it
know
okay?
Yeah, and like we're already halfway through the year too. Like that's
Jesus.
another crazy thing. Like 2025 is the next year. The next New Year's. Happy 2025. That feels weird. You know what I mean?
Oh, that really hurt. Okay, so this is so off topic, but it kind of ties in. I was just watching an interview between, I don't know the girl's name, but it's the girl from Bottoms. Did you ever watch Bottoms, the movie?
No.
Great. Okay. So it's one of the girls from that, and then it was Renee Rapp, and it was like an interview between the two, and they were talking about, I'm like, this should have been in last week's episode, but now I'm bringing it up, how the jump from 23 to 24 is so, like, insane, and it's like so, it's like so pivotal. But yeah, I just feel like I'm tying this in because I feel like the jump from 2024 to 2025 is going to feel really big.
I feel like that too. I mean, we're going to be halfway through another decade.
Jesus. We're getting old. We're getting old.
We're getting old. I know. Before you know it, it's going to be 2029 and it's going to be like our 30th birthday. I know.
That one hurt.
Yeah, I know. That's
That was
only
the one.
four-ish years away.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
I always told myself I was going to have a kid in 2029. Do we think that's going to happen?
Honestly, this is what I will say. The one thing I have realized the older I get is that a lot can happen in 4 to 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
So who knows? Maybe Miss Riley over here is finding her husband in 2025. Maybe they're going to move in together, live together, fall in love madly and deeply, and then pop out kids in 2029. And I'll obviously be the godmother if you guys are like going to baptize them. I don't even know if I'm going to baptize my own children, but
I don't know about that. That's a whole different discussion.
I'm like, what's your religion? No,
Do you believe in God?
Let's unpack that, okay?
That's what today's episode is actually about. Season
Do
3
you
finale
believe in God? Yes.
is what's our religion?
Oh, God.
And you know what I have to say to that? Life
What?
is better in flip-flops. The sign behind me.
I was like, is that some, like, saying?
No.
About, like...
I saw you, like, processing that, and you were like, what did you just say to me? For those of you watching, there is a sign behind me that says, life is better in flip-flops.
Wow, that one was good. That one caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
I was ready. The wit was ready.
Improv.
But anyway...
Okay.
We're recording virtually because I, personally, am in the Hamptons. If you're watching, I'm sitting on the porch right now.
Oh
and
my
Isa,
gosh.
where are you?
I'm in my New York City apartment. I have a really like, whoa, my art wall is really minimalist. If you're watching, there's like literally like 6 or 7 pictures behind me and they're just spaced like kind of like a gallery wall, but I'm no interior designer, so.
I love it. They're all like New Yorker covers. And then
Yeah.
what's the random picture? I feel like is it
This-
New York?
This one?
Yeah, what's that one?
Yeah, that's a picture of Central Park.
Oh,
I know, and I bought it actually before I lived on the Upper East Side. Now I'm like, damn, I should look at that again now that I've actually like, wow, I know exactly where that is.
where is it? I can't really tell from where I'm
That's
sitting.
literally in the park, like I want to say like 90th, West 90th and Central Park West. Like if you walk into the park and like go towards like where the cherry blossom trees are.
By Safari?
Near the Safari Playground. If you're a nanny or a babysitter or frequent Central Park, you may know about the Safari Playground. But yeah, so if you like walk past the playground, but that's okay. Literally nobody cares about
Yeah,
where
I'm like,
this
we're
picture is.
going on a whole discussion now.
But basically, the picture Central Park means a lot more now because I live near it. So
That was a nice segue because what are we talking about today, Isa?
we are going to be doing a New York check-in to wrap up season 3. We're going to be talking how we're feeling, what's new, and some advice. And also, do we feel like New Yorkers yet?
Yeah,
So that's on the docket for today.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to ask you first. How are you in Jesus. How are you in
I feel like I have to preface, if you're watching this and you see my eyes like going crazy, because I always forget how like descriptive my facial expressions are. But like my cat, Zuko, I can't say his name too loud. He's just like kind of being crazy right now. He's got the zoomies, and the thing about Zuko is he gets the zoomies like times 10, and usually Cameron is here to deal with it, but he's out of town, so
Wait,
I
where is he? I didn't even know that.
he's in Washington, D.C. for a work trip.
Ooh.
I know, looking for a man in finance.
6'5"?
Blue eyes. More like under 6 foot and brown eyes.
Yep.
But I love him. He's my dream man.
Oh, that was cute.
Not roasting you, Cameron, for not being
Shout-
6 foot,
Shout
okay?
out. It's okay. You're going on 3 years in New York City. Whoa. How are we feeling overall? Just give me a brief overview.
Honestly, this feels like the first year that I've been here. I would say like the beginning of year 3 to now, where it feels like I'm finally starting to feel comfortable in the city. Like I have even noticed like I can just like remember when I was like I hate walking? Now it's like I don't like mind, like I can like bop up and down the city and it's like not as big of a deal to me as it used to be, whereas before it was like, oh, I have one thing in Midtown today and like that's going to take all my energy to get there kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a little sad, but I'm glad that the growth has gotten me to a place where I'm like, I feel like I can bop around the city. I feel like I'm moving at a New Yorker's pace, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, okay. She's walking fast.
I'm walking fast. I'm huffing and puffing. I'm pushing people to the side. Actually, this happened this morning, and it's one of my favorite things to do. And I clocked this like after it happened. But if you're walking on the sidewalk and like it's everybody coming one direction, and then I am the only person walking in the opposite direction, and people are like not making a walking lane for me. You know what I mean? Like they're like
Yes.
taking up the whole sidewalk with everybody just coming at me, basically.
Yeah.
Like attacking.
Great.
And I like usually try and like make eye contact with people and like kind of give like a, you know, like nod, how are you, whatever. And it's like, I'm gonna, you know, like I need to get by and I don't want to stop and let you walk. Like, let's make some room for me.
Totally.
And today this big dude, all right, all muscles, so tall, dooming over me. I was like, I'm not going to move that much for you. Like, I want to kind of bump your shoulder so that you realize and think about for at least 10 seconds that you bumped into me.
yeah.
And so now every time I walk past somebody, I'm like, if they're not moving, I'm like, I'm just going to give you a little love bump to be like, oh, you didn't
Excuse
move
me.
enough. You didn't move enough. You gotta, like, I take up space. Thank you.
Wow. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Riley, how are
Yeah?
you feeling? What would you say your little overall, just like New York vibes? Where are we at right now?
I think overall I'm feeling comfortable. I feel I'm in a weird place right now because I'm not actually in the city for the next like few months. I mean, back and forth, but like not really. I'm living out here. But I'm finding while I'm out here, I miss it. I miss the city. I look forward to when I'm going to be back and with my friends. And I I think this year, like I would say like December to like now-ish has really shifted a lot of things for me. And I think a big part of that was moving neighborhoods. Like I totally felt you like when you were saying like I hate walking because I didn't mind walking as much, but I hated leaving my apartment in my old neighborhood.
Yeah.
It just felt like such a hassle. So I think that goes to say like like where you live makes or breaks a lot of stuff. Whereas
Yeah.
like now I love walking through our neighborhood. I mean, we're in the same neighborhood, but
We do be in the
I
same
love
neighborhood.
walking through it. I love like I have no problem like walking to the park or like I need to like wherever it may be. Like I love being out and about. But just in general, like I'm finding like I'm kind of adapting like little New Yorkish traits. Just like one, like you were saying, like I'm getting more aggressive on the streets. Like if I need to like nudge into someone, like I will. Like that's not a problem for me. But
Right.
two, and you experienced this like in real time. We were walking somewhere, and Issa's like, "Well, how far is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's like 10 minutes."
I'm pissed.
She's pissed.
I literally called her out. I was like, "You're doing the thing that New Yorkers do, where they're like, oh, it's just a block and an avenue. We'll be there in a flash, in a
It
jiffy."
was
And I'm like,
13 minutes, round down.
it with short legs, which we both ish have.
Yeah.
It's closer to 15 to 17 minutes,
It,
and that is a
it was
difference.
a lovely walk. Do you agree?
Maybe I didn't like
You
being
hate it.
lied
You hate
to.
it that I lied to you. But it's like I round down. I just have to round down. It makes it. I'm like, oh, it's only a 10-minute walk. That's not no biggie.
Fair. Allowed.
Fair. Yeah, but overall, I feel like I really understand like how the city is moving and grooving and like how to get from one place to another, and I like feel very familiar with like different neighborhoods and like the streets and like it's just like I don't know. It's just like it's home now. I think,
Yeah.
which is like been my biggest realization in this like past like 6 months or so. It's just like yes, Michigan will always be home and I'll always have my people there, but like especially with everything with my mom, like I don't know, I feel like more so now like I'm visiting Michigan, New York is my home.
Yeah.
And I hope it stays that way for a while.
I love that.
I love New York.
I know. It's hard. I love how people talk about it. Like I do really feel like you either want to live in New York and like love it here, or you're like, I would literally never live
Yeah.
in that city. Like I feel like those are the two perspectives I hear, which is kind of funny because I do think it is like a style of living.
Oh,
Especially
yeah, absolutely.
coming from Michigan, like one of the things that we realized almost immediately is like, we're not from here. Like
No.
and things are different. Okay. And so I think too, like at first I was struggling with the idea of like feeling proud of myself for making that move, right? Because everybody's like, that's half the battle. Like you just you're in the city, like you've done so much more than others, right? Like that's such a big first step. But because it felt so daunting and like I wasn't quite in the rhythm of the city, it felt less like an accomplishment and more like a whoa, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But now that I feel like I'm getting the groove, I love like you said, like I just love the city. I know the different neighborhoods. Like I love bopping around and like I've got friends here now and it's so different. Like now it does feel like a home. And I think that that's a real testament to how time can naturally kind of just heal some of these like transitions and big changes in our lives.
Totally.
And my next hope is that now that we feel more comfortable in the city, that we start to get really comfortable with like our industry.
Oh,
and you know, like this whole like getting up every morning, running to an audition, going to work. Like I feel like sometimes I still struggle with that balance too. But I feel like it just takes time. We've been doing it for
Yeah.
a couple of years, and with time and practice comes experience, and so looking forward to what's to come in the next couple of years as well.
I don't know. I'm feeling very optimistic for us. Like,
Yes.
I feel like we're New Yorkers.
Me too. Optimistic
This is
is
so
the right
exciting.
word. We're excited for once, guys. We're usually like, fuck this.
We are such pessimists all the time. But
it does
I
feel
don't know.
I
I have
feel
like a
you
little
like
twinkle in my heart right now.
I have a song in my motherfucking feet. I want to dance.
Oh wait, you said earlier. Okay, this reminded me. You said earlier like the city has like a rhythm, and I think I loved when you said that because the city truly, it's like you either move with it or against it. Like you're not fighting, and if you move against it, like it's gonna be a battle. Like the city just like I don't even know how to put it into words, but it just like moves and grooves, and you just gotta like go. Like things aren't gonna work out some days. Like the train's gonna be late, or there's gonna be traffic, or like whatever that is, and like that's just New York, and you just gotta like run with it. You gotta be ready. I feel like something I've really also learned this over like this past year, well 2.5 years, but one thing I've really taken away, just especially in the past 6 months, is that you never know what life's going to throw at you. And especially in New York City, like she is not predictable. She has a mind of her own, and she will fuck you over if she wants to. And that's okay. You just got to let her do her thing. And like, I think the city has really taught me adaptability and like flexibility and like just being willing, like whatever is thrown at me, like I need to be able to like run with it and not let it ruin my day. Cause I don't know about you, but I was very much a person like one minor inconvenience, I'm done. I'm crying, and I'm
why?
done. I'm done for.
I'm like,
Why?
we're both control freaks. That's why.
Yeah, like
We
you have
like-
to let go of control to be in New
We
York.
like to be in control of the situation, and in New York, you have control over literally nothing.
Nothing.
And it's like the city, in addition to the industry, that we also have no control over.
Great.
So I think it's like being an
Double whammy.
being an artist out here, it's like you have to roll with the punches. I love what you were saying, and it kind of got me thinking about like, I feel like when I first moved here, I was also like, like I have nothing lined up for the next couple of months. Like, I just want to perform. I want to do this and that. And as we know, Miss Isa is still hoping to book her first professional contact. Excuse me, her
Contact.
words, her first professional contract. But like these like 54 Below shows and like these like readings with friends and like this community that you start meeting the longer that you're here for. Like those things pop up so randomly, or it's like you have a month to prepare for something like that. And before that used to like stress me out. And now it's like, some of my friends that like I don't see as much in the city, like they're like, when's your next performance? Like I want to come see. And I'm like, I
don't know.
literally don't know, but I know something's coming. Like something, like we have 6 months left, like something's bound to like pop up and we'll be like, oh, we should audition. And then, like it turns into like a one night concert, and it's just very unpredictable. And I think it's about giving into that unpredictability. And
You really got to lean into it and just accept that that's what New York City is.
I wanted to add onto this as well, because specifically last night and this morning, which is kind of funny, and I was telling Riley about it, but also in general, I feel like I run into people here now that I've been here for longer, and it's like I run into people from acting class, or I run into like a friend of a friend that I met at like a thing, or somebody from book club I'll like see on the train. And it is absurd to me that like before I was like, New York, like I don't know anybody here, like it's about like creating this community, and like you can get so in your head and feel like I'm just one small person in this like massive city.
Well, because it's
But-
millions of people. Quite
Exactly.
literally millions of people. But what keeps happening, Isa?
But I keep running into people that I know, and I'll just be like, hey, and I'm like, why does this feel like Lansing, Michigan? Like, why do I feel like I'm running to the Myers and I'm like singing my ex-boyfriend's mom from high school? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like that. I'm like, oh, hey, we did one acting class like a year ago, but the fuck is up? Like,
The
good to
streets aren't
see you.
safe. They're
The
not
streets are
safe.
not. I mean, now I'm like, oh God, sometimes I do be taking the train and I'm like hungover or like in sweats, and I'm like, no one knows me
No
here.
one can see me. No one can see me.
But now I'm like, oh, I ran into, no, you guys literally, okay, last
Tell
night
me.
I saw, it was 11, okay, I had an acting class. I wasn't just out late on a Tuesday. Not that you guys would judge me anyway, but, it it was like 11:15. I see somebody at the first train station that I'm at, waiting for my first train. And I'm like, oh my God, hey! And then transfer, get to my like home base, stop, get off, see somebody else I know. Great. Okay. Go home, go to bed, go to sleep. This morning, wake up, go to a dance class. Know somebody in my dance class. I literally don't go to dance class. What are the odds of that happening?
Yeah.
You know, today was my first time since December. Like, let's be so real. How did I know somebody in that class? Then, walking home, run into somebody else I know. Like, what?
No.
I know that we're like all in the same industry, but it's like before we were all in the same industry and I didn't know anybody. That's the difference now. It's like you can feel those ties and those connections that you've been making, regardless of like professional connections, like literally just people that you talk to in class.
Mm-hmm.
Like you start seeing them and realizing like, holy shit, like it's a small world.
It is
Like
so
I
small.
might be running into people all the time. And it's like, sometimes it's like, oh my God, yeah, like I don't want to run into anybody, but it's also like, oh my God, like I know people here. And it's like, it feels like home because I know people and people know me and that I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say one thing. I wanted to touch on Riley being in the Hamptons. So first of all, that's sick. Like, love that.
Thanks.
I was the kind of person that like left Michigan and was like, what are the Hamptons? And then I got here and I was like, oh.
It's a different world out here.
No, I get it. Because I feel like it's a little different, but it's giving kind of like Midwestern going up north culture.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like everybody here like goes to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Well, you know, rich people.
Yeah.
But anyway. Anyway, so if you're a reality TV show person, I very, very, very much am. There's this show called Summer House. If you
need to watch it.
If you haven't watched it, you are doing yourself a disservice. And this is what I'm telling Riley. Like, you are not living their lives because they live in like a house and all they do is like drink and party. So a little different, but
yeah, I'm like, that's not what I'm doing, everyone. Don't
it's
worry.
just so entertaining. And I think that like you watching it while you're in the Hamptons would be like so mind blowing to you. And I think
I'm
you
gonna
would
do
just
it.
love it. Like you should do it. And it's
Do you
such a
know
good show.
Which part of the Hamptons they're in?
No. Amagansett, I think. Isn't that where you are?
That's where I'm at. There's no way they're here.
Is that why I think that's where it is? I don't
yeah,
know.
Sorry.
I mean,
I'm also, did you hear the chair?
yeah.
It's not me farting, everyone.
It was just the chair.
It's me adjusting. No, East Hampton, Southampton.
I don't know, girl.
Okay, fine.
They call it, they just,
Bridgehampton?
on the TV, it just says the Hamptons.
The Hamptons. Damn it. I want to know.
But
Okay,
if
but I
you
wanna watch. I
watched
wanna
it,
watch
you
'cause I
could
bet
probably
I could.
figure it out.
I could figure it out. I'm sure I could. Honestly, I kind of feel like a little regular out here. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Second
I
summer
like-
back.
second summer back. I'm feeling good. This week was kind of unexpected, but very productive so far. Like the kids were supposed to, so the kids I nanny are in camp from 9 to 3 every day, like Monday through Friday, which I only work Monday through Friday. And they weren't supposed to start camp until next week, so I fully like went into this week like expecting to just like be working all day every day, but they decided to go to camp this week.
Hey.
So I have taken it upon myself to be a little productive queen. I went to
Love
Soul
them.
Cycle today.
Woo.
Soul Cycle never ends. It never stops.
Soul Cycle never ends.
It was just so weird, like doing it at like a new gym, like new instructor. Like didn't like I was sitting on the bike so awkward before because I usually like would talk to my sister or Isa, and I was just like, great, I don't know anyone, but I'm going to make friends. I'm going to make friends at Soul Cycle. I've like decided.
You are manifesting.
But no, I've just been trying to like keep myself busy during the days. Whereas like my first summer out here, I was very lonely and like didn't know what I was doing, and like I would just like spend a lot of my free time like in the basement sleeping, like in my room.
Yeah.
And then I would work and then I'd just go back to bed. Whereas like now I'm trying to like get out and do things and not go back to bed after the
and
kids go to
explore
camp.
on your own. Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks. I'm excited for this summer and what it holds, and Issa's gonna come visit me.
Yes.
And we're gonna have
Also,
the best
this
summer
is
ever.
like exactly around the time when Summer House starts.
Oh really?
Yeah, like in late June, I want to say.
Okay, that
Right?
makes sense.
I feel like it's not after Memorial Day, which is kind of weird. But I feel like usually the first couple of episodes start with like July 4th.
Do I need to start with season 1?
I would say you can start on season 2. That's what I did. I never watched season 1, and I would call myself like someone that like knows and understands everything that's happened.
Okay, cool.
Because season
gonna do
1,
it.
you can watch season 1 though. And that's just like my shout out Chloe, my friend Chloe, Bravo Queen. Her and her sister are all Bravo Queens, but they told me like season 2 was fine.
Okay.
So if anybody out there hasn't watched it, take that with a grain of salt. But
That's good to know.
you guys, it's so good.
Do you see
like,
me stressing over here?
Why? Because you don't have time to finish?
No, because I have so many shows that people are throwing at me to watch, and I don't know
You
what
started
to start with.
Bridgerton.
I did start Bridgerton.
Okay,
I'm
but
loving it.
Thank God, guys. Like, Riley's just now getting
Like
on the
season
Bridgerton
one,
train.
Season 1.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first episode. It was good. I liked it.
You're gonna like it.
I won't complain. But then I'm going to. I guess. Sorry. Segue. What are we up to this summer?
Yes.
Side note, I'm going to Scotland in August. I'm going with one of my high school besties, Ashley, but we call her Shlee. Shout out.
Shout out, Shlee.
Last year we went to London together and we decided we're going to go on a trip every year. We're going to do it. And so we're going to Edinburgh for a week, but everyone's telling me I need to watch, not everyone, her, Outlander. So what?
Yeah,
what do I start with? Because I started Bridgerton,
Okay.
but now I'm hearing Summer House, and now I'm hearing Outlander. So I'm like,
okay, Bridgerton is like quick-ish. Like it's
Okay.
only like 8 episodes, and yes, they're an hour long, but like realistically, if you do like one a night or every other night, like you're done in 2-ish weeks with the first season. So then you could
Okay.
maybe jump around. Like I don't know, you don't have to watch it all at once. I don't think it's about whatever
Yeah.
you want. I do think traveling somewhere and like because there's like a very specific place in Scotland where the show takes place, and there's like a very
and
magical
Shlee
part.
wants to go visit there because she's a fan.
Exactly. So it's just like you could either go and know exactly what like the lore is, or you could go and then find out the lore later and maybe be like, oh, like it was like I went and I have pictures there, but I didn't even like know
I
at the
wish I
time
would've
how
known.
like yeah.
I don't know anything about the show, but all Shlee told me yesterday was that I will fall in love with Jamie, whatever that means.
Oh,
Oh, you know what
oh I love that man.
it means. Okay.
Literally, that is the consensus. Like, if you've watched Outlander, like, you are a Jamie fan. Like, it doesn't
Okay,
really
great.
matter. Yeah. Like, everybody, every bitch loves Jamie in that.
And you're
show.
one of them.
And
You're one of
I'm one of them.
Sorry, that was just like a random tangent of TV summer. But yeah, that's really all I'm up to this summer.
A little pop culture in the middle of an episode. Whoa.
That was crazy. Ethan, what are you up to this summer?
Okay, so I've been trying so hard not to go on more trips. I am such a traveler. I didn't think I was gonna be, but I've turned into someone that just like is always traveling, and it's great because exploring and I feel like living and seeing the world, obviously amazing perks and benefits to that.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, I need to just like be in this city, and I feel like train, for a lack of a better word. Like I feel like it's been a minute since I've like hunkered down and like been like, okay, I'm gonna like work on my craft. Like we're working like nonstop. I mean, we'll see. Hold me accountable to that.
I will.
But so I'm going back to Michigan next week, LOL, for July 4th. I'm so excited. I go up to Lake House with my boyfriend and his family, and I've been going since 2017 because they're amazing. And it is just, I call it like my one like real moment of the year to like check up with like every single one of the cousins, and like it's just such a lovely time. I am really excited to go back. That's like my Hamptons, okay?
Okay, no, yeah, I'm like, yes.
And so yeah, I'm really excited for that. And then I'm coming back, and then like I said, I want to like grind for a second. I'm like, okay, but I do need to go home to Michigan at another point, just to see my grandmother and my aunt, my uncle, who don't come out to New York quite as often as like my parents do, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So I am planning one more trip back to Michigan this summer. Okay.
Do you know when?
No. Do you want to plan it together?
I'm going back first weekend of August.
That is perfect. That's literally my parents' anniversary.
Oh, perfect. I planned
And
it for you.
You heard it here. So I'm going to Michigan next week and the first week of August, and then I'm going to go visit Miss Riley in the Hamptons if you want to consider that a trip. So actually, I'll shut the fuck up because I am going on many trips.
And that's what this time is for. That is what the flexibility of your 20s is really for, is for traveling and doing whatever the fuck you want because you don't have to worry about children.
100%. So yeah, gonna focus on like getting back to Michigan a bit for the summer, but other than that, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be taking dance classes. I took a dance class this morning. You can ask Riley. I almost skipped, and you know what? I'll just be honest because
so proud of you.
thank you. This podcast, as we say, is all about being honest, and I almost skipped this morning. And the last 2 classes that I signed up for, I skipped because I feel very insecure in a dance setting. But today, I pushed myself and I went anyway, and it was like a sign from the universe that I am capable of doing all of these things because we danced to 6, which is like I literally saw that show 4 times. My friend Megan Corbett, like you didn't even have to show me the choreography. Like I'm ready.
You're like, I know it.
So, it was a really good class. I feel like, especially because I hadn't wanted to go, and then I went and I was like, this is so fun, and I like proved to myself that I'm like, again, more capable of doing what I thought. And so I don't know, there's a lot of like mental work that I got to do when it comes to dance. Like I know that I can dance because I used to dance.
Yeah, of course.
But
the
it's
foundation's there.
Right. It's more about just like getting back into that mentality where it's like I'm comfortable moving my body in front of people and being like judged and hired for it. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I'm working towards. But you heard me. When I'm not on trips, I'm grinding. Because I want to be on that Broadway girly. I'm a Broadway wannabe, and I want to be on that Broadway.
So true. Okay, so last summer I think we called what did we call Hot Girl? Did we call it Hot Girl Summer last summer?
Yeah.
I think it was just Hot Girl Summer. So like what is this summer's name?
See, but I don't feel like I had a hot girl summer last summer.
No, I didn't either. Like we
So I'm
call
like,
it that,
I
but
feel
it was
like
Sad
this
Girl
is-
Summer.
I feel like this is my hot girl summer.
Okay, period.
Like I feel hot. Last summer,
As you should.
I did not.
I
did not feel hot.
She's 25 and she's hot. You heard her. I don't know. I don't know. Did we call it lukewarm girl summer last year? I think we did.
Okay, that's kind of funny of us.
I think we did, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word.
I'm like, I always want to say spicy.
Yeah,
But we had
did
spicy
girl
fall.
Spicy girl fall.
I would say it was a spicy girl fall.
It was. It was a spicy girl fall.
I was way too spicy.
Too spicy for my liking.
Whoa.
I would say this summer for me is like a healing girl summer. Healing,
Okay, healing.
and hot, but mostly healing.
Hot and healing summer. I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You were like really processing that. You're like,
My brain. I was like,
I'm there with you. I got it.
I love that.
Yeah.
To enter a hot and healed fall.
So true.
I'm
Turning over a
healed
new
by
leaf.
Thanksgiving. Ooh! That was good.
I'm with it today.
One of the best puns we've had. Anyway.
Okay, Isa. This conversation as a whole. Give me one piece of advice for someone that's either moving to a new place or is just like in a transitional period. Also, like summer advice. Like, give me something good to leave off this season with.
I heard this a couple of days ago. I can't remember who it was. It was a friend that told me. I'm really sorry. My memory's not as good as it used to be.
Great.
Turned 25. What can I say? But I, was talking about the industry and whatnot, and someone reminded me, and they were like, overnight success, like that isn't overnight. Like that happens day by day, like baby step by baby step. And so I think my piece of advice at this moment is to to keep working on yourself, like day by day, like take it one thing at a time. Like if you go to one workout class, if you take one walk for yourself, if you journal one day a week, like whatever that thing that you're trying to create as a habit is, keep working towards that, because eventually you will look back and see the benefits of it. But at first, like you don't see it because it's not apparent right at first.
Yeah.
But like it does help to continue working towards something and look back after a longer period of time and be like, wow, I did that, or wow, I did learn something from that. So that's what I want to say, is just like keep chucking away at things one day at a time and see where it
Totally.
gets you.
Consistency is key.
Amen.
Amen.
Riley, what
Hey.
piece of advice do you have today for us?
I might have already given the podcast this piece of advice, but it really
That's okay.
is the piece that like gets me through my life.
Let's
like,
talk about it.
It's the idea and like the quote that like you are exactly where you need to be right now, or like where you're meant to be. And I think that's just like a common theme that comes up in my life a lot, especially right now, because like here I am out in the Hamptons, like I'm not in the city, like grinding it out, like having an Isa summer. And like I think old me would have very much like been upset with myself, because I'm like, oh, like I'm not working on my craft while I'm out here, like I'm not doing the thing, like what am I doing here? I came to New York to be an actor, like and here I am like being a nanny full time. And like I think like you need to give yourself grace in like every situation. And like there is a reason that I'm out here this summer, and like I came back to this nannying job and I love it, and I love this like break that it gives me, and I think it's gonna help refuel my creativity. Yeah, all of that rambling just to say that like what's meant for you won't pass you by. Give yourself grace. Like being in your 20s is weird, and it's full of transitions that are really hard, and it's hard to make friends as adults. This is random, but I'm gonna say that I'm struggling right now out here. But yeah, don't. I know it's so hard. Like hindsight is 2020, and it's so hard in the moment. Like especially if like things are difficult or like whatever, to be like, there's a reason I'm here, and like or what I'm doing right now. And just like you gotta trust. You gotta trust in yourself, in the universe, and what is meant for you won't pass you by.
I love that. Trust the process, 100%.
Trust the process. Yeah. Go to the Hamptons for a summer. Fine.
I also want to say, though, like, you're not giving yourself enough grace, because yes, you're in the Hamptons, and no, you might not be like, okay, what, like in an in-person audition or class, but like
I guess.
you're still working on your body. You're still fueling yourself and moving your body every day. And like that, we literally talked about this today, but I was like, I think going to SoulCycle made me do better in my dance class today. Because like I said,
Yeah.
it had been 6 months because I was so terrified to get back in a dance room. And I was like, wait a second. I'm a little bit better than the last time I was in here. And
You're like,
I think
I have
it's
rhythm.
movement and like just helping your body feel comfortable moving in different kinds of ways, I feel like is part of the thing that, you know, like we forget about sometimes. And so you are still working on shit, and you're still listening to music, and you're still singing. Like that doesn't go away, you know?
Thanks. Yeah.
So,
I guess.
yes,
It just,
give
I
yourself
feel very
grace.
removed from the city, but
I understand. I
I'm
mean,
giving
that is a
myself
valid
grace.
feeling. That is a valid feeling.
I'm giving myself grace. It's gonna be a great summer.
It is.
I'm gonna miss everyone.
I
Oh,
know.
I can't believe this is our last time doing this for a little bit.
I know. I'm going to miss you guys, but thank you so much for all of your support. It does mean the world to us, and especially when you guys like stop us and are like, hey, like your podcast, like it's been going so great. Like I've been listening, and you know, like you should be so proud of it. Like great job. Like all these things, like they really pile up, and it means a lot. And thank you so much for listening. Like that's literally all I can say is
Yeah.
just thank you for listening to us and giving our voices like a space to be heard.
That was
If
beautiful.
If you ever want us to shut up about something, like, you know, we're open to feedback, and if we're being like assholes, like say something. But, you know, like thank you for letting us talk about our shit and our baggage and our fears, and still like loving us and not judging us. And that goes for like our friends too. Like thanks for just supporting and
Yeah.
being here.
It's been 3 very rewarding seasons, I would say.
Yeah.
this process has just been so fulfilling, and we've talked about it all the time, but like I feel like we've both learned so much, like not only like technically, but like also just like about ourselves and like giving ourselves a place to speak and like learning within ourselves that like our voices deserve to be heard. And I don't know, I'm just really proud of us, and we wouldn't be here without anyone listening. So
true.
ditto to everything Isa just said. Thank you. We love you. So for the last time of season 3, if you want to keep up with us on social media, our @ is @notfromhere.podcast. That is NOTFROMHERE.PODCAST. And you guys, don't give up on us. There's going to be stuff going on this summer. Noah Wisniewski, the man, the myth, the legend, will be busy cranking out that content for you. We'll do some throwback videos. We'll release some old episodes that we never got the videos out for from season 2. Yeah, we have some videos that never before seen. So you haven't heard the last of Not From Here. Like, we're still around. Check out our social media. Check out our YouTube channel, of course. Yeah, and shout out to Noah. We couldn't do any of this without him as well. But
We love you, Noah.
we love you. But as always, I'm Riley Klauza.
I am Isa Rodriguez, and we are most definitely not from here. Bye. Love you guys.